Hey there, it's Tank Girl, and I have here a phone that's a little old now. It's called the LG Arena, and it actually came out as a competitor to the iPhone about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. One of my coworkers lent me this to play with. I was interested because the camera has some really awesome specs, and you know I'm all about the camera. But also what is interesting is that AT&T in the US here in 2010 is about to release this as one of their phones, and the pricing is actually pretty crazy, $199 with a 2-year contract. The reason I'm saying it's crazy is because this is a dumb phone, and in that price range you can obviously get an iPhone 3G or I think a 3GS even for that price. And there's no competition, obviously, smartphone versus dumb phone. Now, what is interesting about the LG Arena is that it's really a beautifully made phone. Like, the software might not be that great because obviously it's a dumb phone and it's not that great one at that, but the hardware is gorgeous. So let me give you a kind of a close-up tour. This back panel here, where the battery, behind which the battery is all aluminum. It's one thin sheet of aluminum, and it's really beautifully manufactured. The fit and finish is incredible. The screen is glass. It's a capacitive 3-inch screen, and the edge of the screen here is a stainless steel material, which is, as you can see, really, really gorgeous. Again, hardware-wise, fit and finish is incredible, and I think that I've played with a few higher-end LG phones over the years, and they all have this incredible high-quality fit and finish. Here's the Schneider Kreuznach lens for the 5-megapixel camera. It has a flash LED, but it has autofocus macro, and most importantly, it has video recording 720 by 480, so 480p DVD widescreen at 30 frames per second, and at the time that was a very, very unique thing. It also has Dolby Mobile, which enhances sound quality during audio playback. Standard headphone jack right here. Power button. Here's the battery release cover, which is a bit confusing. It's close to the power button. And here we have volume up and down zoom keys, as well as a dedicated, and again I'm really excited about that, a dedicated 2-stage camera button. It's a little small, but it's better than no dedicated camera button. The connections are done through this proprietary port, which does USB and charging. I think there's also a video output on this one. So, what else? Spec-wise, it's got 3G for Europe. I suppose that the US version from AT&T will have 3G for the US. This is obviously also quad-band Edge. Right now I'm using it on AT&T on Edge. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I'm not sure if the AT&T version will have Wi-Fi. They've been notorious for disabling that. As you can see, the screen is really gorgeous. I mean, it's still pretty bright here in my room, although it's getting close to the end of the Sunday. And yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful piece of hardware. As far as the software goes, it's a bit of a nightmare. I'm not even going to bother demonstrating it. I'm just giving you the outside tour here. You get a feel for it. You can see the tightness of the tolerance here on the battery door. This is a piece of plastic that's attached to the phone, and this is a aluminum door that comes off, and it's incredibly well made. So there's a sweet spot for the I pre-focused the phone that I'm using to record, which is an iPhone 3GS, to this about this length here. So you know, as far as software goes, it's got the SUI, whatever it's called, the LG's UI that they've been using for a while now. Actually, I think it started with the Arena here. And this cube kind of home screen. This has 3G hardware acceleration, so it's pretty fast that way. But as you can see, responsiveness lacks, and it's generally not a very exciting design. It does support Java, so I've been able to install some apps like Google Mail and a few others. The Google Maps is built in, and the problem is because it's built in, you can't replace it with a newer version unless you hack the jar files, and that's a real pain in the ass. Notice the front-facing camera here. I'm not sure the AT&T version will have a front-facing camera. They tend to remove that as well. So the software, generally speaking, not that exciting. I mean, it's pretty, but it's pretty slow. And so pretty and pretty slow together make it just slow. And, Java only, it's not a smartphone. And then spec-wise, it's beautiful. I mean, it has some pretty good features for a 1.5-year-old phone. It's just, I wish the software was way better. There's no way they were going to be able to compete with the iPhone. And if you read the reviews online, I mean, it really did get obliterated by people that did not like it. But, you got to give them kudos for trying. Capacitive screen, 3 inches, really quite beautiful. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, this is really important. The reason the screen is so gorgeous, okay, is that it actually is 800 by 480 pixels on a 3-inch screen. I mean, look at this. It's incredible. So it's 480 across and 800 up, or the other way around if you hold it this way, for a 3-inch screen. So it's like more pixel density than the N900, than the the Nexus 1, than the Droid. That's for a year and a half ago. This is what I'm saying. The hardware is really quite nice. This was a smartphone running Android. It'd be a pretty awesome phone. And I think it has a horsepower. I mean, it does have 3D acceleration, and it would be possibly able to do that. So I'm not quite sure why they're not. They didn't, I guess Android wasn't around at the time, but this would be a great candidate. Anyway, so I should probably wrap it up. I just wanted to show you the LG Arena, which, as I said, I was able to borrow from a coworker for a few days, a couple of weeks now. I wanted to play with it, test the camera. The camera so far has been pretty good. It's a little noisy in low light, but everything else about it is nice. Let me actually quickly show you something, now that I'm talking about the camera. The user interface is really slick. Let me just show you. So if I start the camera by holding the camera button down, this is the UI. So you can tap anywhere on the screen, and these little quick boxes appear, which give you your settings, your flash setting, your macro setting or autofocus, and the exposure level. So right now I took some macro photography last with it. So if I hit this, I can change it back to autofocus. And the flash I've always got off because I'm only generally use the flash, especially LED flash, as filler. So there it's off. And then here in the settings, check this out. Oh, I guess it didn't work. See, the screen for a capacitive screen is a little wonky. So there we go. Check this out. This little wheel, it's a little overexposed. So I'm trying to get here we go. Here we go. So if I just move like this around, it's like basically a wheel, a little dial on a camera. And I can, for example, turn on geotagging, which is always off. As soon as you start the camera, it turns geotagging off by default. And so, when I'm done, I just hit this button here, and I go back. And so now, I can focus by pressing partially on the top button here, etc. So the UI is actually pretty well done. It's one of the few things in the software that I find is worthy. Again, remember, keep in mind, this is a year and a half old, but even a year and a half ago, I don't think was able to compete with the iPhone, primarily because it was a dumb phone, and because the software isn't polished enough, in my opinion. So anyway, we're here almost 10 minutes into this. I think I'm going to wrap it up. LG Arena, available on AT&T soon. I think it's overpriced for $199. It would be a decent phone for maybe $99 or $79. I'm assuming the AT&T version will be further crippled. It might, I don't know if it'll have Wi-Fi, I don't know if it'll have the front-facing camera. It will at least have 3G in the US, which this doesn't have because this is a European model. And the proprietary port's a real pain. It does have an SD card slot. Oh, and also has 8 gigs built in of storage. So in addition to the SD slot, you have built-in storage. Anyway, this is it. Keep an eye on my blog for more info on this phone. Cheers.